We're here in Mitcham where our under-21 side play their home games, and this time we're going to focus our academy spotlight on a player that's already played a couple of games for the first team and last week scored a wonder goal that nearly broke the internet.
Hiram Boateng, centre mid.
So tell us a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Battersea, south side of London. And yeah, I lived there up until about 15, then moved over to Swanley. Been living there for the last 3 years.
And when did you start playing football?
Just as long as I can remember, really. Since I was about 6 years old. I remember right opposite my house there used to be a little, like a football pitch there, and the local team, Battersea Youth Centre, used to play there. Yeah.
So did you get spotted by Palace playing for anyone?
You know, there was.
Go to a trial?
No, there was a coach called Luke Sainsbury that worked at Battersea Youth Centre on my local team, and then he worked at Palace at the same time. So he was, I think, the under-9s coach at the time. Then he took me over, and then I just did the trial with Palace, and then from there got in. And
obviously you worked your way up. You played a couple of games in the first team, haven't you? Tell us about the first game you played. It was in the FA Cup, wasn't it? Yeah, the first game was in the FA Cup against Stoke. I think we lost 4-1 in the end, but it was a good experience. Like I was quite nervous going into the game, but then as soon as you do something good, like make a good pass, and then the fans are clapping, then you just settle into it, and then like you kind of manage to block out everything around you, and it just feels natural. So yeah, it was a good experience playing in that game. So I've noticed at the training ground in the canteen you've got the first team side and the youth team side.
Yeah.
You've played for the first team, but obviously you still have to be in that side, don't you? Has anyone ever gone across, and is there ever a bit of banter going on over the divide?
I think when they first put the divide up, I had a few people saying, "What side are you going to eat on?" and all of that. But to be fair, there's not really anything to it. Obviously, the 21s and the 18s, I've grown up with most of them, so I guess in terms of me just being comfortable, that's the people I speak to most of the time around the club. Like I said, people like Reese, who I've grown up with, I just sit there and eat with them. Like some of the first team will come over to our side sometimes, just chat with us. Sometimes
Yannick's quite good at that, isn't he?
Yeah, like Yannick. Sometimes Punch will come over. A few of the players will just come over, talk to us, see how we're doing, and have a bit of banter. So it is good. Like there's still a bit of unity with the divide, but it's just, I guess, when you do make that jump into first team, then that's another thing you get to do. You get to make that jump over to the other side with the divide.
What do you think of Hiram Boateng as a player?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to play with him a few times, whether that's in the 21s or when I was younger in the youth team. So yeah, no, he's a top player. He's one of the midfield players that sits in front of the back four and can really drive on, as you probably saw in that fantastic goal he scored recently. I was fortunate enough to play with him at Stoke in the FA Cup probably 2 or 3 years ago. He was only about 17 or 18, but he showed he could play at that level even at that age. So he's got everything to be a top player, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for Hiram. So.
And you still give him a wave over that divide in the canteen at the training ground?
yeah. I still, don't worry, I still go over to the other side to see all the youngsters, and because most of them are my mates, of course. But no, it's nice around the training ground to mix with the youngsters still, and it's nice to have them there and see how they're improving and developing as players. Because it wasn't long ago that was me in the youth team, and it's nice to have them around, and they're all top boys. So yeah.
You went on loan, didn't you, to Crawley?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was a good experience, but it was difficult at the same time because I didn't get much game time, and it was a bit frustrating being there and getting to see all these games take place but not being able to play in them. And in my opinion, I believed I was ready to play, but it might just not have been the right time because at first we were on a winning streak, so it's hard for him to put me in the team. Then we went on a losing streak and the manager was nervous. He didn't think we were going to stay up. So I can't blame the manager for that at the time, but when I was in that situation, I just felt a bit stressed out and just a bit anxious to get playing. But it was also a good experience because the level of training with first team every day and being seen as a first team player, which was good.
Right, it's time to talk about what everyone wants to talk about. That wonder goal last week. Talk us through it. You got it in your own half, didn't you?
I just remember the ball coming to me, I flicked it over one of the players, and then I just thought to myself, let me just go for it, let me run. So got running, and then it was just like no one could stop it. I don't know why no one brought me down, but ended up in the penalty box, and it ended up on my right foot, which I wouldn't have. Ideally, I didn't want it to go onto my right foot because I'm so left-footed, but just slotted it away. But yeah, I was proud of the goal.
So looking to the future, you hoping to get out on loan at all?
I would like to. I would like to go on loan. I'm not looking to force to go out on loan. I'd rather it just happens naturally, and at least you know that person's got full interest in you and they really want you there, that manager. But yeah, it's definitely a thing I'd be looking to do, get out and get more games, so eventually I can come back to play here and be ready.
And finally, where do you see yourself 5 years' time?
5 years' time? In 5 years I see myself playing in the first team, hopefully playing for the national team, and yeah, just doing well.
Actually, which national team? Because you can qualify for Ghana and England, can't you?
Yeah, this is another tricky one, but I think I'm gonna have to wait on the call first.
Yeah.
And then make the decision. Yeah.
Great, thanks a lot, Hiram.
Okay, thank you.
We'll catch up with you after the game. Now, annoyingly, the game has cooled off due to a frozen pitch, so let's just look at that wonder goal again.